When I go to my channel, and here we want to solve this particular question, and we have question 1 here. Is an examination question, and it says that an ellipse has a major axis of 120 and minor axis of 80. Question A says that we should construct the ellipse using focal point method, and question B, Roman figure 1, says that from a point P, 30 from the left end of the ellipse in question 1A, and 20 above the major axis, draw two tangents to touch the upper and lower segment of the ellipse at Q and R respectively. And question B, Roman figure 2, says that we should measure and state PQ and PR. Okay, so that is the question that we are asked to solve, and then in total we have 20 marks for that. So let's start and see how we can construct the ellipse using focal point method with major axis 120 and minor axis 80 millimeters. So let's start. Now the first thing that we need to do here is to draw a horizontal line, so like this. So you draw a horizontal line. Okay, so we have the horizontal line. The next thing that we're going to do is to draw a vertical line. So just stand anywhere, so place your set square anywhere on the line and draw a vertical line like this. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is that we take our compass and take a measurement of 60 millimeters, which is half of the major axis. 60 millimeters, half of the major axis. This is 60. So you put it at this point here. So you make an arc here, and we make an arc here. Alright, so I'm going to keep this 60 so for a purpose, and I will let you know that when I'm done with that. So I want to take a measurement of minor axis on the vertical line. So from this point here, we take 40 millimeters down, and we take 40 millimeters up. That is 80 millimeters. So I'm going to label this point. So this point here, I'm going to call this point, I will call it point V, so V1, and I will call this V2. So this point here, I will call it point, so let me call it point T1, and this is point T2. So this is how I want to label it. There's nothing wrong with the labeling. So now I will take my compass here, that same 60 that I said I'm to keep. So I will put at this point T1 here, or I put on point T2. What do I want to do? I want to locate the focal points. I want to locate the focal point. So you make an arc here on this line, and then you make an arc on this side here, like this. So then I'm going to call this point here, this is point F1, that is focal point 1, and this is focal point 2 here. So this is how to go about it when you are using focal point method. So the next thing that we are going to do is that, so if I call this point, I call it point O here. Okay, so I'm going to divide distance OF1 and OF2 into the same number of equal parts. And how do we do that? I'm going to do that here, and you see how it should be done. So with your set square like this, so draw a line in this direction, and then from this point here, we also draw a line in this direction like this. Okay, so okay, so the line goes in this direction. So I'm going to divide this distance into 5 equal parts. So I'll just take 30 millimeters. So this is 1. Okay, so that's 1. So this is 1, and here I have 2 here. This is 3, and this is 4. Then I have 5 here. So that is 13 millimeters. So on this side also, I will also divide into 5 equal parts. I'll make 5 points on this line. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one is 5. Okay, so we are going to join the last one here. The last one, we join it with the focal point F2, and also here we join this with last one, so we join it with focal point F1 here. Alright, then so with the set square along this line, okay, so we support it with the ruler, then we shift to the next point, so we draw a line, so from here to here, okay, so here we draw a line, so I've joined all this, so let's join this together. So we set our set square in the direction of this line that goes from the last division to F1, so we move it to this point, so we draw a vertical line, we draw this line, so not really a vertical line, okay, so then, so from here, so we also draw from here up, then here we also draw, then so the last one is this, so we also draw this, okay. So next thing that we are going to do is to number this point. So this will be point 1, so this is point 2, so this is point 3, so this is 4. So leave the last one, let's leave the last one. So this is, I will call this 1 prime, so this is 2 prime, this is 3 prime, this is 4 prime. So we have all this. Next thing that we are going to do is to take our compass, so we put at V1 here, and we extend to 1 prime on the right side. So 1 prime here on the right side, so you extend it here like this, okay, so we extend it to 1 prime, then we raise it up, so raise it up, so then we put it at F1. That is, we have taken the distance from V1 to 1 prime here. That's what I've done. So that's what I've done. So we now raise it up and we put it at F1. So we draw an arc up and down here. So we also take the same radius and we put at F2. At F2 here. So we draw an arc up and down here. So then we take it again, return to F1. So we extend it to 2 prime on the right side here. Okay. Then we raise it up, put at F1. So we draw an arc up and down here. So the same radius, we put it at F2. So we draw an arc up and down like this. Okay. Then we return to F1. You can also use F2. There's no problem. So F2 to this side, no problem. So we extend it to 3 prime on the right side. Then we raise it up, we put at F1. So we draw an arc up and down. Then we take it, put it at F2 here. So we draw an arc up and down. Okay. Then again we take it to V1. We extend it to 4 prime on the right side. So we raise it up, we put it at F1. Then we draw an arc up and down here. Then we put at F2. So we draw an arc up and down. Alright, so we are done with all the points that we have on the right side here, which are 1 prime, 2 prime, 3 prime, and 4 prime. So now, so we take it back to V1 here. We now extend it to 1 on the left side, to 1 on the left side, like this. Then we raise it up, we put at F1. We are going to make an arc on the first arc that we drew. And then, so we also do it down here. So we put at F2 here. So make an arc here on the first arc. And we make an arc here on the first arc down. So then we take it back to V1. So we extend it to 2 here. To 2 on the left side. Put at F1. So we make an arc on the second arc here. And make an arc here on the second arc. Then we put at F2 here. The same radius. So make an arc on the second round up, on the second arc down here. So then we return it back to V1. So we take it to 3 on the left side. Okay. Alright, then we'll raise it up and we put at F1. So we make an arc here, and we make an arc on the third arc down. So then we take it to F2. So we make an arc on the third arc up and on the third arc down, like this. Then we take it back to V1. So we extend it to 4 here on the left side. So raise it up, we put at F1, we make an arc on the fourth arc up, on the fourth arc down. Then we take it to F2 here. So we make an arc on the fourth arc up and on the fourth arc down. Okay. Now, so this point are the point that we need. So let's bring out the points. So we have this point here. So here we have this point, this point, this point, including this point T2 on the vertical axis. Then we have this point, so this point here, this point and this point. Then including point V2 V1. So we also have this point here. So we have this point. So we have this point, this point. So we have this point T1 on the vertical axis. So we have this point here. The point that that gives us the intersection of the arcs. Those are the points. Then we also have V2 here. So all these points, we are joining them together using our French curve to get the ellipse as we are instructed. So if I set my French curve like this, so I can join this point together. Join this point together like this. Okay. Alright, so then, so if I turn it here like this, okay, so I'm going to join these points. I will join them together like this. Alright, so then, so we turn it like this. Okay, so we need to adjust the French curve. So we join this together. Then, so we turn it here like this. So I need to be very careful with this because of how it is here. So we join this point and it goes like this. Alright, so this is the ellipse. So this is the ellipse. We have constructed the ellipse. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are asked to construct two tangents on this ellipse. So we are going to do that right now. So we have answered question A that says that we should construct the ellipse using focal point method. It carries 10 marks, so we have done that. So we now move to question B, Roman figure 1, that says that from a point P, 30 from the left end of the ellipse in question 1A and 20 above the major axis, draw the two tangents to touch the upper and lower segment of the ellipse at Q and R respectively. Now, what we need to do first is to locate point P. So point P, it is 30 millimeters from here. So 30 millimeters, so it is on the left side as we are told. So from this point here, you take a measurement of 30 millimeters. 30 millimeters. So this is where I have 30 millimeters. So this is point P now. So at this point, I have point P. Okay, 30 millimeters. Okay, then what we are going to do now, so we need to locate point Q and R on the ellipse. So how can we do that? So what we need to do is to draw a vertical line. So we draw a vertical line up here. So we draw a vertical line up. Okay, so they now say that point Q and R, they are at a distance of 20 millimeters above the major axis and below the major axis. So what they mean is this. So from this point here, from this point P here, we take 20 millimeters down. This is 20 millimeters. Okay, 20 millimeters down, and we also take 20 millimeters up. So this is 20 millimeters. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to draw a horizontal line from this point. So we draw a horizontal line to touch the ellipse. So we come here. So we also draw a horizontal line to touch the ellipse. So wherever the horizontal line made the ellipse, so this will be point. So this upper one is point Q. Okay. So the lower one here is point R. Okay, so we have this. So the next thing that we are going to do, we need to construct a tangent at this point Q here, and also a tangent at this point R here. So that's what they asked us to do. Now, for us to do that, so we need to connect point Q here. We connect it together with point F1. So we connect together with point F1 like this. Okay, then we also connect. Okay, so we connect this point Q, we connect together with point F2. As we have connected it to point F1, we connect it with point F2 like this. Okay, all right. So now, so let's finish this one at point Q, then we'll come back to that of point R, though we are going to repeat the same thing. So what we need to do now is that we need to bisect the angle between QF1 and QF2. We need to bisect that angle. So how do we do that? So you put the midpoint of your compass at Q here, and then extend it to a small radius like this. Then you draw an arc. Okay, so you draw an arc like this. So having drawn this arc, so we put the pinpoint of the compass at this point where the arc touch QF1. So you put it here. Okay, put it here. Then you draw an arc here. So we are bisecting the angle. That is angle F1 QF2. Then we also put it at this point where the arc touch QF2. So we put it here and we draw an arc. So the arcs intersect at this point here. The arcs intersect at this point. So what we are going to do is to draw a line from this point where the arcs intersect. So we draw a line from here, and it's passed through point Q like this. Okay. So then we are going to make this line that we have from this point Q up here, we make it a thick line. So this line is a normal. So I'm going to call this one. So I'm going to call it QS. QS. This is QS. Then next thing that I'm going to do is to take my protractor. To draw the tangent, we take the protractor and we set it on this line. So make sure the midpoint is on point Q. And the midline, which goes to 90, is on line QS. So we make sure we can see the point a little bit, as I've done it here. So the next thing that we are going to do is to draw a line through the point like this. Okay. So we have the line like this. So this line is a tangent. So I'll call it line AB. So this is A and this is B. This is line AB now. So we have this line. Alright, so now, so let's also do the same thing as we have done for point Q on the ellipse. So we also join. So we join RF1 together. RF1, we join them together like this. Also RF2, so we join them together. Okay, so we join them together like this. Okay, then we are going to bisect the angle at R, that is angle that we have in between RF1 and RF2. So we bisect this angle. So put the pinpoint of the compass at R and we draw an arc like this. Okay, then we put the pinpoint at the point where the arc touch RF1. So we draw an arc here like this. So we also put the pinpoint of the compass at the point where the arc touch RF2. So we draw an arc like this. So they intersect at this point here. This is where they intersect. So we are going to draw a line from point R through the point of intersection of the arcs. So we draw like this. Okay. Alright, so the same that I did for QS. So I will also draw a normal line. So just make this line a thick line like this. So I will call this RT. So RT. So this is RT. So the normal line is RT. The next that I'm going to do is to take my protractor. So I will set it along this line RT. So we make sure that the line at 90 is on RT and the point is on R like this. Okay, so we set like this, and then so we are going to draw a line. So through this point. So this line is the tangent. So I will call this CD. Tangent CD. Alright, tangent CD. So we have it like that. Alright, so we have constructed the tangent as we are told. The next thing that we are going to do, the question says that we should measure PQ and PR. PQ and PR. That's what the question says we should do, which is the last question. So PQ and PR. So if I want to measure PR, so from this point R here, so I will take these measurements. So from here to here, so this gives me 30 millimeters. So this is 30 millimeters from here to here, 30 millimeters. So I will just quote it. So I'll now say that so that is PR. So PR is equal to 30. So plus or minus 1. 30 plus or minus 1. That's how we state it. So then also I will take a measurement of PQ. So from here to here. So I also have what? I also have 30 millimeters. So this is also 30 millimeters. So I'll just say that. So PQ. So PQ is equal to 30 plus or minus 1. So we have answered that question, and this question carries 20 marks, as I said, as we have in the question. So all you need to do is to practice. Thank you, and God bless you.